Hi, Taurus. Happy August. So, how are you guys holding up? It is Leo season. Speaking to the eclipse that's going to be happening later in your 4th house. But first, there is an eclipse happening in your 10th house. So, you and Scorpio are going through the most right now. Like, everyone's going through changes, but you two are really... You two isn't, as if there's only 2 of you. But you both are, both of your signs, both of your clans are going through a lot right now. I mean, for you specifically, Uranus in your 1st house, in your sign, Taurus, the lunar eclipse illuminating your life purpose now, where you're going in life, who you are, what you are putting out there. Oh my gosh, there's been a few cards that have been showing up in everyone's readings. This is one of them. Father of Swords. I think that might be talking about Mercury retrograde, which is happening today. But anyway, so the lunar eclipse, Mars retrograde in your 10th house, your life purpose, what you contribute to the world, who you are in the world, reflecting later, and also you're thinking about now, because Mercury is there. Your childhood, your roots, your home, what went on now? What has affected you as a human? What parts of your childhood can you now let go of that will serve your 10th house energy? What can you let go from your childhood, whether it's trauma, whether it's bad familial relationships, whether it's patterns that you've learned, bad habits that you've picked up, emotional habits, like not healthy coping mechanisms or whatnot. Just things that really affect you now. You're really going through a self-purge, getting rid of everything and anything that does not serve you, that is not for your greater good, and that does not align with where you want to be, because you do have a vision for yourself, Taurus. You do see yourself. You're starting to ask yourself, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? I think everyone's really going through that, but you guys are, you're kind of uprooting everything that you've built. You're questioning your structure. And structure is very important to you guys. But I think this change, I think y'all can feel it. Like, this change is going to be one of the greatest, most life-changing periods of your life. And you know that. You can feel that. But you're meditating on what it is now that you can create for yourself. Create for your reality, what kind of reality your past has created for you. Oh my God, this card. If you've seen any of the other videos, this card comes up the most, and it's always in reverse. This and the moon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the Emperor. For a lot of you, I saw it as coming up as the eclipse, and of course it is talking about the eclipse, but I've been talking about the eclipse for the past 3 minutes. So, what else could this be? The Emperor, Mars in your 10th house, Mars retrograde in your 10th house, Mars retrograde in your 10th house with the lunar eclipse. So back we go to the eclipse. Again, really just trying to fixate on the one thing. You have a lot of options, but you really want to focus on one because it's got you feeling scattered. Your mind is feeling scattered. And I don't blame you, because now Mercury is in retrograde, so everyone is a little frazzled if they weren't frazzled before. But more eclipse cards. Okay. You know exactly what it is that you want to do. You just don't want to act on it yet. You want to kind of sit in all the possibilities of how it can go wrong, because that is then how you stabilize, how you then prepare for those situations when they come up. So in turn, that knowledge will allow you to create more stability because you are more prepared for the instability. Now, you do have a lot of potential. You have a lot of options to create stability for yourself. Just want to make sure I was reading that right. Yeah, but yeah, it's the Four of Wands. And trying to figure out what it is now that you can weed out. This eclipse will do that for you, but it will be best if you participate in the process with it. Knowing that this change is for your greater good. This change, it's going to bring about peace. And how do you do that? By clearing out your 4th house energy. It's kind of funny because this lunar eclipse in your 10th house at the top of your chart, if you look at this as a wheel, I see this as your wheel right now. The lunar eclipse is happening at the top of your chart. So your identity in the world, your place in the world, your contribution, how you give yourself to your community. But the solar eclipse happening later will illuminate your roots, the bottom of your chart, your 4th house, everything at home, everything in your family, everything from your past coming back up now, and letting that flow through you and letting the lessons filter through. So by the time you can confront your 10th house energy when Mars goes direct again, and you know what it is that you need to do now, you can move forward without any hesitation, without any more analyzing. The bull has rested. You can move forward. But how do you move forward? By honing in on one. You see how this Leo season is focused on the material? You have all the options to manifest. This is the Magician card. But you got to focus on one. And right now it's permanence. It's earth energy. It's you energy. Again, this eclipse shining through, illuminating that part of you, confronting your past, because that has everything to do with who you are. As much as, some of you want to ignore certain things from your past, you have to confront it and you have to integrate it now. Because you are creating stagnation for yourself if you continue to block these lessons that need to come through. You can't block it because it's going to creep up no matter what, So instead of pretending that everything is okay, pretending that everything's all right, just let yourself feel this. Let go of the swords. Let this eclipse affect you in a way now where you can see yourself in a different light. Because right now, you're blocked. You're blocked because you're trying to block this energy. You're tired of the mental conversation, the mental chatter in your head, the self-doubt, the doubt that other people have put in you about you, how you think of yourself, how you view yourself, what your value is. Really seeing now how all of the darkness that people threw at you and how that has affected you and how you see yourself. So once you let this come through and you can flip it back upside down, you see that all of this is really just excess and it's not really much of anything, and people will just kind of throw their shots at anyone at any time. So don't let that make you lose your stability. You got to stand your ground, Your roots now need to be tended, so then when you reach the top of your chart, the top of the tree, your 10th house, you can meet this eclipse energy and greet it like a friend. And be like, hey, I'm ready. I'm growing. I am ready for this growth. I don't need other people to chop me down. It's just theoretical anyway. They don't really know what they're talking about. I am whole in myself. I know that I can get through anything because I've gotten through this. And now, with that knowledge, with that power, what do I bring to the people? What can I bring to the people? What can I do to change the world around me. The Magician, the World, and the Strength card. All in the upright position, all in your reading. All speaking about the eclipse energy. Solar eclipse, solar eclipse, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Leo season. Infinite possibilities. But you have to dive deep into the one dark spot, because that will illuminate the rest of your wheel for you, the rest of this month. You're going to feel stagnant, but you have all this power. You know that you want to put something out there now. You know who you are. You know who you want to be in the world. You're like, I have decided that this is me now. So meditate on that. Once Mars goes direct, you will start feeling a little less slow. I say less slow instead of faster because there is still going to be these eclipses, other retrogrades. Mercury just went into retrograde. It's going to be a little crazy for a little while, but it'll be okay. Open up, Taurus. Allow yourself to feel. Allow your emotions to flow through so then it can nourish the earth that you walk on, the earth that is yourself, and you will grow from it. You know, sometimes we have to go through the shit, but sometimes shit is fertilizer. Okay, Taurus. And on that note, happy August. It's going to be a good month. It's very transformational. You know, this whole decade is going to be transformational for you, but right now is at the peak of its energy source. There's so much happening in the sky right now, and it all has to do with you, your self-image, who you are now, the rest of your life, really. So focus on your past. Clear out what it is from your past because you don't need it anymore. You're going to need that room. You're going to need that baggage gone. You're going to need to carry less weight moving forward because now you're going to really have to hone in on your skill, hone in on your specialty, hone in on your contribution to society, to the world, hone in on what's happening out there, how you can change things, how you can restructure things for yourself and for your community. Okay? But it all has to do with the roots. Tend to your roots, Taurus. Use the shit as fertilizer. Bye.